Okay, today we're going to learn how to create a self-portrait using a picture of ourselves. And so we're going to do this using, I'm going to use Chrome Canvas, but I'm also going to be telling you how you can do it using just tracing paper or even regular typing paper. You don't need even tracing paper, and a pencil if you need. First thing we're going to do is we're going to take a picture of ourselves. So I'm going to go to my camera. And if you're on a Chromebook, you should have a camera also. You're going to click on that. You're going to look at yourself. Oh, I'm going to take a picture of myself with mine. All right, let's see. Picture. There we go. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, I'll take that. And mine saves automatically into my pictures. So I'm going to go new from image. You're going to save your photograph to your drive or your Google Drive or wherever you save stuff. And what did I do with my picture? I think this is it. Well, that don't work. It's close enough. All right. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with a photograph of ourselves. Now, if you're using Chrome Canvas or Sketchpad or something like that, you can just add a couple layers over here. You know how I like to do. And I'm going to pick a couple of layers above the actual photograph. Now, if you don't have a touch surface to draw on, and you find it easier to draw with a regular pencil and paper, I still want you to do the photograph. I still want you to put it big up on your screen. But what you can do is take a piece of, I'll get it out, blank paper and put directly over your screen. And your screen will work like a light box. It will allow you to see those lines and see your face through the paper. And then you're going to trace your face. So that's what I'm going to do now. Again, I'm on a couple layers above my actual photograph. And I've got my pencil out. And I'm just going to sketch, kind of trace what my hair looks like and my face features, so that I'll have a little tracing of myself to work from. And today what we're going to do is we're going to look at how we can turn ourselves into a character of some kind, like a superhero or Harry Potter, or maybe a witch or a doctor, or we got Halloween coming up. Some of you all like to dress up for Halloween. I'm not a big Halloween fan myself, but I do like the idea of dressing up. So I've got a superhero that I like to dress up as. I've got a costume for him and everything. And his name is the Tick. If you don't know who the Tick is, he's a cool superhero, my favorite. And I kind of like, there's a newer one of him, and then there's an older version of him. And the older version costume is my favorite. And so I'm going to do myself as the Tick. Alright. And I'm just going to put my neck here and show my shirt. And there's my shoulders. My shoulders kind of up high for some reason. All right, and if you want to, you can even go ahead and start sketching some of the background. I'm gonna put my chair in here. I'm sitting in a chair. You could even put, if you want to put some details going on just a little bit about what's going on behind you, something like that. And then I'm gonna put this here because I'm gonna make this to a sign maybe. All right, and so I'm gonna turn my drawing off. Now this is what I've got. I've got a little tracing of myself. Let me. Alright, there's my tracing of myself. And I'm going to use this to kind of start with creating my character. So I'm going to turn off my photograph. So now I'm only working with my sketch myself. And this is what I want you to start with. If you've got a tracing now that you've done of yourself, you're ready to go. If you're going to do it with color pencil and markers and crayons, that's fine. I'm going to use a little pastel on my um, uh, Chrome canvas here. So first thing I want to do is I'm going to go select a layer just above this drawing I've got, and I'm going to use marker because I'm making sort of a graphic novel character, and those make use of these sort of bold lines. And again, your character is not going to look like mine. Yours is going to look like yours. Maybe you're doing yourself as Harry Potter, or maybe you've got a favorite. What were they? The Power Ninjas, Power Rangers. You have no idea who that is, do you? Power Rangers. They were big when my son was young. And I'm just doing a basic little tracing of myself. There's my eyes, eyebrows, right here. Alright, and so now I've got sort of the basic sketch of me as this superhero. I don't like that. Alright. Now, the tick has what they call antenna, like, because he's a tick. You know, and ticks have antenna. And so his kind of do this number. They're little segments. Sometimes they bend a little bit. And so that's sort of what the tick looks like. And I'm going to think about now adding color to my character, the tick. And again, your character is going to be very different. It's not going to be the same as my character. You don't know who my character is, probably. Alright, so let's add a little color. My guy is blue. So I'm going to come down here and choose a blue. And I'm going to turn my... There we go. I thought that was pretty good. Alright, now I've got a friend who does a lot of inking for comic books. And, you know, one of the processes that they do when they create comic books or graphic novels, very often the person who writes the story, you know, they'll start a storyboard where they start breaking the little panels up into segmenting that story into different little scenes, if you will. And they'll create some little sketches that will, well, that's not what I meant to do. Oops. Alright, let's try this again. And so, while they create the artwork, very often it's a, oh, here we go. Okay, let's try this again. I'll go with this one. This one's kind of got a good start on it. So you can kind of see where I'm going here with this. Let's see. Is it going to let me? Maybe my pen ran out of... I believe that's what's happened. I believe I've run out of battery. That's what's going on. Give me 1 second. So, as you can see, I'm starting to add color to my character. Now, one of the things I want to consider as I add color to my character is thinking about stylistically. What do I want the style of my character to look like? And so when I think about the style, when we talk about that, think about comic books you've seen or drawings, and if they use line in a real creepy, weird way, or use lots of dark colors, they might have sort of a sinister or sort of intimidating kind of a look to them. But if you're doing a really kind of happy, fun, go lightly story, you might use colors that are pinks and blues and that sort of thing. So think about how you can use line, how these can impact that mood or that feeling, that style that you're creating for your work of art. And so I'm going to choose my marker here because now I want my style. I'm going to come up here on top a little bit. And I want my style to now sort of take on a life of its own. And what I'm going to do is I want my highlights where the light's being caught. I want those to be real sort of bright here. And I'm going to start off with almost a medium brightness because I'm going to come back and make this even brighter. But I want it to have that inked look like in a comic book and not the sketchy look with the pastel. So I'm going to just kind of highlight where I would have some of the lighter parts of where the light would be coming if it's come over here on the right hand side. So let's just put in a little bit of, and I'm just throwing in light real quick. It's a little too big, but that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to click a really pale. Let's go to the custom. I'll go back this direction a little bit. Too much. There we go. And I'm just kind of finding my muscles, little muscle areas and highlights over here. And then if I want to do my shadow areas, I'm going to choose red. Because not only do I want that, I'm going to turn that opacity down a little bit. But I want my shadows to not only be darker, but I want them to be warm versus the cool of the blue. Because I think that will add a little bit to it as well. So let's turn the opacity down. So as I develop these shade areas, so you can see, even though my character is staying mostly blue, the shadows are going to become these rich sort of red areas. I might even bring a little of that red to bring that style onto my face. Kind of like that. And again, yours is not going to look like mine. Yours is going to look like yours. I'm going to put some background in here a little bit more. I'll use my pastel for that. Alright, so this is sort of how mine's developing. Yours is going to develop differently. I want to see what your characters look like. I kind of want to see how you're developing your style. What's your style going to look like? How is it going to be different than the style of other people's? And how is that style reflective of sort of that character you're creating? And so I'll show you just real quick sort of one of the things I like to do with mine. So let's go with, again, sort of this. Now, if you notice that chalk pastel is very similar to that color I was using for my shadows here, so I'm going to kind of bring it in, and this is kind of bringing him into that background a little bit, tying him almost to that background by having those. And if you'll notice, I'm bringing that shadow directly, literally from the background into that drawing. So it really kind of ties him into that background. Um, but you can look at how you can create your styles differently. What I would do here now is start thinking about how I would use line, and I'm going to start thinking about that sketchy line, real dark. And what I would probably do is turn this layer off. Oh, not yet. After I start getting my sketch going here. A little bit. Oh, let's just do it with that. Add a little gray for my beard here. Kind of think about those shadows around my eyes. Think about the lines in my nose. And then what I would probably do is just to kind of bring, I like doing something, and again, this is just the style. I would probably look at using line to do some interesting shadow work. There's a couple of cool, if you use Sketchpad, there's a sketchy sort of brush that sort of does this sort of thing where you get these, what we call scribble marks, or and create this sort of scribble value. I really like it. I think it's cool. I think it adds a neat sort of textural aspect to the works. But how you do your texture, how you do your style. I got a friend that all his stuff, when he ties his shadows to his, like in this area, for instance, where he has this light line going into his blue line, he ties things together with these quick little sketch lines, like it's literally been sewn to like it's different colors sewn together. So again, stylistically, how you create yours, how you're gonna make yours different. Maybe you're gonna use line in a different way. Maybe you use value and texture in a different way, something new and unique. Again, yours will not look like mine. Yours is going to look like yours. So how can you do something really cool that you like, that has the style that you want to try to create, the look that you want to try to create, that feel, that graphic novel style that interests you most? And some of you are saying, I don't even like graphic novels. Well, I didn't design the class, unfortunately. But I'm trying to make it a little more fun for everybody. So we're going to try to personalize it. So we'll make it what you like, what kind of style you like, what's the subject matter that you like. If you want to do a graphic novel that's more of a story, a novel of a story you've told again and again, and you want to kind of do something that you're familiar with, well, that's all the better. All I want to do is be able to see how you can provide a little illustration, sort of tell that story through pictures as well. All right, guys, have a great day. I look forward to see what you turn in.